So I want to talk about some of the basics when it comes to GarageBand. So I'm going to click it right here. And when this comes up, we've got our thing here, but what we want to do is we want to go to File. We want to go to New. We want to do Empty Project. We want to Choose. And then right here, we want this audio mic. We hit Create. And so then when we want to start recording, we want to turn off our metronome, otherwise it makes a noise, and we want to turn off this as well, the count. We want to click this button, and then we're going to do a test. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. And then I hit the space bar to stop recording. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to hit play, and then we're going to do a test. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. All right, so I'm happy with that. So I hit the looping there. When this is going on, it loops back all the time. We don't want that, so I'm going to turn it off. So now, let's say I'm doing part of my commercial or I'm doing some other recording. And you know what? Why don't we keep it on the same track for now? And then when I start recording now, I'm starting a separate one on that same track. But let's say I wanted two things to go at once. I would go to Track, New Track. I'm going to choose that same one and hit Create. And then, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? And so what I want you to do is, let's say we got an audio track from YouTube Audio Library, and we just dragged it in here, and I wanted to change the volume. If I go up here to Mix and then Show Automation, I get these bars here. And so right here, this is a constant level. And if I hit this bar up, I change the whole level. So let's say I want a constant level, and then right here, I want it to start to go down. So I click it right there. And then by the end of this, we're going to go down like this. And so let's listen. That same track. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. And so that's a fade, obviously. And so then we can do the opposite. Let's say we started right down here, and then I put this up. Let's get this so it's a constant volume. And now let's listen to this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, so when we go into the sound booth, we just want to make our recordings. And then what we want to do is we want to save this, and we want to mix it with our audio back at our own computer. We don't want to do this in the sound booth because we want to get out of there as soon as we can. So then we're going to go to File, Save As. What I would like you to do is save it on the computer, even if you've got a USB in there, just in case something happens with the USB, so that we've got a copy of it on the computer in case something happens. So let's go desktop. Let's call this test. And save. That's all well and good. But let's say I've got my sound effects on there on one track. I've got my music on one track. And on my third track, I have got all the voices on there, and I'm ready to go. It's time for me to hand it in. I do not want a GarageBand file. I can't open it in D2L. So we're going to hit this Share button, and then we're going to go Export Song to Disk. And up here, we're going to go Desktop. I want an MP3. I don't want high quality. I want the highest quality. And then this is going to be Mr. Regular's ad. And then I'm going to hit Export. And this MP3 is the kind of file that now you can open on other people's computers, on phones, whatever. And the GarageBand file, it is not as accessible. So let's then look. Let's see if we can find it. Here's our test. Here's Mr. Regular's ad. Let's listen. And then we're going to do a test. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. And then when I start recording now, I'm starting a separate one on that same track. Can you hear me now? can you hear me now? And you can hear the different levels on there. At least I could. So that's what I'm looking for. And have fun with that.